Minecraft doesn't have tutorials. Or do they? Nostalgia is a dangerous thing, and in the old console editions of Minecraft, every major update would come packed with a massive world to explore, filled with giant statues, challenges, and even long-lost civilizations showing off the special features of the update. But are these maps truly as legendary as the internet would have you to believe? Was it even still in the game? Were the memories in the past just that? Memories? In this video, we'll be exploring all 11 of these worlds, uncovering their secrets and getting a huge dose of nostalgia. All of this to answer if these tutorial worlds were just as legendary as we thought they were. And is there any way I can solve the mystery of an ancient civilization under the water hidden by the ice? When I spawned into TU69, I was instantly flooded with a deep sense of nostalgia. Being forced to make a crappy wooden box of a house and then walk out being greeted by fireworks and that classic Minecraft logo, it was almost too perfect. When I was young, I remember building my base up there with my sister. We would start farms, breed horses. I even vaguely remember finding secret discs scattered around the map and got reminded of how I was super scared of an underwater civilization that I'd long forgotten the location of. See, it was hidden under the ice, a long, cold staircase that twisted down and down until it led into a world of nothing but forgotten stone and darkness. But I shook it off at the sight of the great statues, the gateway out of spawn. Me and my mate boarded our boats and set off on our journey, and it was exciting. Like a Minecraft adventure map back in the day of Herobrine's Mansion and DanTDM's mod reviews. Anyways, the past aside, this map is highly water-based and suggested that you swim or sail everywhere. We first landed on a deserted island where we made our camp. To the right of us was a massive waterfall, winding mountain stairs, and a cliffside community, and to the left was the site of flying dolphins, a ring of water, the desert, and even the ice and the... The detail of this map is frankly insane. We sailed to the next dock and followed up the mountain path to a quaint fishing spot. Met a mushroom that honestly didn't look quite right before heading to the jungle where we found out our very first elytras. It was freeing, getting the ability to glide. That was until I set my eyes on the icy tiger. I froze, it was so familiar. We were both excited for different reasons, but hyped nonetheless. So we glided to an abandoned house. We found nothing but dried seaweed there, but that wasn't the important part. See, just to the side of this house was a circle, a suspicious one. I investigated it but found nothing, telling myself that it wasn't the spot and that this wasn't it until we ran down the stairs and into the icy water, and I was immediately blinded and panicked. I wasn't scared of it anymore, but I was anxious. I didn't want the mystery revealed and ruined. I knew there was something down there, something beautiful, but I just couldn't. Not right now. Anyone born near the same time I did remembered Stampy Longhead and his survival world. So guess the expression of joy I had on my face when I saw that Tutorial World 19 had his survival base fully recreated. We started at the new spawn, greeted with a massive castle. We explored it like old English roads before ransacking it, breaking into the catacombs and taking everything we got our hands on before running for the hills. We then swam to a desert village, eyes peeled for the goal until in the distance, excitedly, we made our way towards the SS Stampy, our nostalgia and excitement steadily growing. In the past, when we were dumb kids, I was so surprised. I started questioning everything. I thought Stampy stole the base from the tutorial world, or maybe it was randomly generated in every single Minecraft world. And so I told myself that I could too. See, when I was young, I moved into this house with my family and we played every single day after school, backdropped by the carefully crafted OST by C418. I made it mine and I would get to experience every new Lovely World episode even more closely. I even spent one Christmas playing in the dining room with my sister. It was not the best of times. And as I got closer, I realized my eyes were not deceiving me. This was very real. We made it out of the ship and ran towards the ladder leading towards the base, and we were more hyped than we ever were as we opened the front door and there was silence. We couldn't describe it with words. Nostalgia is a dangerous thing, but when I made it to the inspiration room, the kitchen with a random food dispenser, and the living room, it felt safe. And the feeling of being in Stampy's bedroom was just so damn, that was a weird sentence to say. But me and my mate only really wanted one thing: to go to the smelting room and into the legendary Love Garden. And when we finally made it, we just sat there overjoyed. People that contributed to my childhood brought an unreasonable amount of joy into me, and to make it even better, the roller coaster above his house was just a couple steps away. But first we investigated his waterfall, climbed up it and rode it down, broke into Stampy's secret stash in the library, as well as taking a dip in his swimming pool. And on the topic of luxury, welcome to the Cliffside community, or as we lovingly refer to it, the Denman Prospect, because of how wealthy it is. It was a beautiful build with a wonderful beach that reminded me of my past self fishing alone during school holidays. But above it were dozens of houses all connected and mixed with each other. It was almost like a maze, running into one house just to end up inside another. When you make it to the end, you're given a path that me and my friend followed until we made it to a significantly poorer community that coincidentally led us into the mushroom biome. From there, we bounced and remembered the mountain path we were so excited about in the beginning, and inside was a mining camp, and above that was a tower just over a gaping cave. Inside there was an elytra, and well, it was quite obvious. And poetically, we landed right back where we started. At this point, it was late in the night, so we decided to call it here. As we sailed back, I was reminded of that damn staircase I was too scared to enter. I didn't want to expose the mystery because I'd always tell it to my friends. It was my version of a Herobrine's tale, a story of how an old world was engulfed by a new one. And half the value was the fact that I didn't even know what the answer was. But Loki, he reminded me of what we were really here for. The tallest point on the map, the hardest ring available, the Diamond Course. Across the map were rings scattered everywhere, and we were ready to take them on. When I was young, I couldn't do a single one. My tiny thumbs had no motor controls, and frankly, I was more content being lobotomized by the fishing minigame than giving myself a severe brain hemorrhage by slamming my skull into rings. But I was going to be making my younger self proud. I took the position, and then started to glide. We even tried to do the legendary black obsidian hoop, and well, it was perfect. Gliding onto the aqueduct, we made ourselves our own little platform to look at the world we just conquered and cheered, knowing we could always reminiscent about this for many years to come. But there was something left to do. It was 1 AM, I couldn't sleep, and so I loaded up the tutorial world and I delved into the water. First, it was just stairs. I swam down as it spiraled deep into the ocean. I knew there was something big down there, the remains of a past, long-forgotten civilization. Even this, covered by snow and ice, it had to be something. I'd brought doors with me to breathe, to create checkpoints in the water, but the stairs were seemingly never ending. Well, that was until it did, and nothing except ruins. Crumbling walls of houses and roads and lanterns and evidence of an entire city, grander than anything we've seen above the sunken. Railways and town squares and fighting arenas, a diamond beacon hidden underground. I was shocked when I saw that there were entire highways looming above here. There were farms here, pig pens, cow pens, and dead animals and people, and oh my god, these were the remains of Tutorial World 46. Arguably the biggest and most developed city in any Minecraft tutorial world, and the first one I've ever played when I was a child all those years ago. Massive elytra courses, a ruined portal spilling its underworld onto the overworld, and frankly the most important part of the world to me was the tree colony. I remember playing this when I was a child, and I was so shocked. I thought this was naturally generated, and if I made another Minecraft world, I'd just be able to stumble randomly upon it. That obviously wasn't the case, but the small houses dangling on an overgrown forest, it was just the best. I had vivid memories. I lived here, pretending to be a little wood elf. It was almost a maze, running up and down, trying to find a peak before diving down and getting into the mountain quarry. Once there, you could take in the view, parkouring delicately all the way to the top, which would reveal a house abandoned for God knows how many years, leading you into the direction of a massive mushroom island, decorated with its very own pretty cute village. You would be able to bounce on the roofs of houses and explore the massive death cap in the middle. It was such a spectacle that felt so Minecrafty. The designs of the small mushrooms combined with the overbearing shadow of the big one, it was both menacing and amazing. I wish they added this into vanilla Minecraft. Imagine stumbling onto this with your friends, being able to jump on these giant mushrooms. This tutorial world really showed the beauty of Minecraft, which something like survival just doesn't really get across. Traveling to the ice biome, you'll meet many houses built into the sky-rising ice spikes that littered the entire place. It was truly an amazing sight, climbing up one and then floating down like a butterfly, even a place in the middle to fish. I'd like to imagine that when I was in the past, I would fish here with my family members for hours talking about our day. This world was by far my favorite. The plateauing mountains connected by rinky wooden bridges, it felt almost like Middle-earth. Everything curving and linking together, allowing you to go everywhere you could ever imagine. Houses littered above ledges and canyons with ruined towers looming in the distance. I felt like I was in a fantasy world. There were ancient villages built into the taiga that I only reached after hours of trekking through this map. Every single biome you explored had a custom and a beautiful city built inside of it, and honestly, I wish that villages looked like this instead of this. I mean, really, imagine stumbling onto a treehouse in vanilla Minecraft. This was something that mods do that I wish we could have in the base game. It would certainly be better than this. Plus, there's even a massive sprawling underwater base that felt so massive and so grand. I can only imagine the awe of my younger self exploring these. I knew that it would take weeks for me to completely finish a tutorial world in the past. My younger self would be so encapsulated by everything and paralyzed by the choice that I could make. Spending literal days exploring one area and making it my own, building a house inside it and maybe even starting a farm. I told myself that my memories were right, that this was a beacon that I could come back to when times were tough and give myself some fireworks and fly through this world again. I did this for TU69 and I did this for TU19 too. It was very nice. I hope this convinced you guys to at least give these worlds a try. They're probably special to you, and even if they aren't, it's still pretty damn fun and a good time. And to prove that, I went to the first tutorial world ever made. I spawned in, and the old Minecraft aesthetic hit me like a truck. It was nothing like I'd ever seen before. I finished the tutorial and quickly made my way into the first village. I'd tamed Dog and brought him to fish with me just as it started to rain. And the sounds of droplets hitting the world around me, as well as the beautiful soundtrack crafted by C418, it reminded me of what Minecraft was. What it was as a child, an escape, something magical, something that I never thought could have existed. Minecraft was my first video game that I ever played, and these tutorial worlds blew my mind, and I would never trade those experiences I had in the past for anything. Except maybe a subscribe and a comment from you guys. I didn't know why I became this nostalgic, because I've never played this tutorial world in my entire life. I'd gotten Minecraft years after this, but something about it just made me feel like I was a kid again. The builds were so unrefined, they didn't even care about the aesthetic. It was built exactly how we all built when we were young, and I found it so beautiful. Minecraft before it was the Minecraft as we know it now. Before there was PvP and building and redstone communities, when it was just a game for nerds who wanted to survive in a literal block game. I made my way to the castle, and even though it was dated as hell, it was really awe-inspiring. I couldn't say it was a relic, but it kind of was. I don't know why. I made it to the top when I found this little glow in the water, and I dived into it, finding a room full of diamond armor. I can't even make this up. This feels like a speedrunning scam video. Anyways, with the threat of dying behind me, I went on my merry way until I stumbled into a massive lighthouse. I stopped dead in my tracks to marvel at it before swimming up and climbing it. Going up there, I didn't really see anything, so I just used it as a point where I could decide the direction I wanted to go, and soon I was met with a village. It wasn't anything special, but on the outskirts I found a massive X into the ground, and guys, look, tutorial worlds are known for their fun details, and so like a normal person, I dug straight into it, and there was a dungeon. I don't really know what happened afterwards. I think I tried to explore more, but I kind of circled around back to the start, and look, I was doing this at 2 AM. I was really tired. And to be completely real, this week was kind of bad. And this was a great response to it. And so I watched the sun set. I did this with myself on 49, but more especially with my friend on 19 and 69. And it was just a sense of relief that washed over me because I'd done it. I'd played my past. I thought these tutorial worlds would be completely lost to time, that I would never be able to capture them except from watching videos of them on YouTube. But being able to experience this key part of my childhood again, it's so valuable. I logged back into TU69 and I sailed out again, and I sailed and sailed and sailed until I made it back to the ocean ruins. This time I came prepared with water breathing, full swimming enchants and night vision, and I came to conquer my past. There was an entire layer of the tutorial world that was hidden from me, and it was cryptic as much as it was majestic. I didn't know what to make of it, but I knew there was a story behind it. Good ones with family, even with an annoying sister, and ones with depth and value. And next time I feel cold, I might go back to TU49 to warm up. And when we need something to be happy over, me and Loki can always bring up the time we went into the past and played TU69 and watched the sun set on a world we thought we would never be able to play again. This is a story of Minecraft's tutorial worlds, one of nostalgia, beauty, and taking control of a mystery you never thought you would be able to solve. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and have a good rest of your week. Bye bye guys. See you next time.